Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, coach of your Wexford Wailords, and welcome to our week 8 team building episode for the TDL. This week we're up against the Indiana Infernapes, coached by Ethan, and we are on currently a 2-loss losing streak. You guys may have known we were blistering away at the start of the league, but we have kind of hit a bump in the road, and we were looking to finally bounce back and get another win under our belt as we try and continue our push towards playoffs. So if you guys are looking forward to this episode, please smash the like button down below for me, as I'm going to go through Ethan's team. I can't really recall what record he has, but if I remember correctly, it's either 1 and I think it's 1 and 6 or 2 and 5. Not too sure, but he's got a losing record anyways. So on paper we should have a good matchup, but and a good chance of winning. But still, he's got a very scary team with a bit of power on it, and you will be able to see it up above me now. So he has a Volcarona. I'm just doing this as the norm. He's got a Volcarona, a Manaphy, a Como-O, a Jolteon, a Togekiss, a Sneasel, a Venusaur, a Torkoal, a Gardevoir, a Steelix, and a Mega Slowbro. So interesting team, very interesting team. And Manaphy is a Z user, by the way. I should mention that. So Z user Manaphy is quite scary, so we gotta watch out for that. Volcarona is very scary too. A couple of really scary base 100 Pokemon there. He's got Jolteon, which is exceptionally fast, and the Sneasel. So that's a little bit of a nuisance, but we should be fine. And I think we've got a good matchup this week. I'm very happy with the matchup, and we should have a good shot at winning this. So let me talk you through our team. So as soon as I saw his team, I was like, I realized my Zard does a lot. I mean, a lot of work. With the max speed, max special attack, timid nature. I'm nothing too fancy. We're going Fire Blast, Solar Beam, Ancient Power, Dragon Pulse. We're just going to come in, click Fire Blast, and doesn't really, to be honest, he doesn't really have much that wants to come in on it. If Slowbro comes in on a Mega Fire Blast, then we can Solar Beam, and we're hurting it. We're doing mad damage to it. Manaphy can't come in on it, which is brilliant, by the way. Manaphy can't come in on it, especially when we're in the sun, because Manaphy then is like my Scald. I can go for Scald, but it's not going to do much. So, it does so much. It does so much this week. So I'm really hoping to bring Wildfire in as much as possible, because anytime we can bring him in, I'm like, oh, we got a free hit here. So I'm just going to bring in Zard and just click Fire Blast and watch someone take 70% damage. It's going to be fantastic. I have Ancient Power for the Volcarona and the Togekiss and the Torkoal. It actually does a lot to the Torkoal, believe it or not. And if we somehow get a boost from the Ancient Power, I'm pretty sure we're sweeping. At that point, we're sweeping. There's no one outspeeds us. There's no one that's gonna be able to OHKO us. I'm pretty sure we're sweeping. And I have the Dragon Pulse then to get mad damage off on the Como-O when that thing is in. And that's the team. Well, that's the team. Sorry, that's Zard. You can probably tell by the team that's up above me that we do mad work. He's got nothing that wants to come in on it. Torkoal doesn't even want to come in on to Zard Y, at all. Not one bit. Doesn't want to come in and eat a Fire Blast to the face, because it's going to lose over half health. So, and then I think Ancient Power does between 60 and 70% if it's fully physically defensive. So you're looking at you're not looking at Torkoal as a switch, and if your Torkoal and your Manaphy aren't switches here, you're in trouble. So I'm actually really happy about that. I'm delighted. Next up, I decided to bring Solar Panel or Heliolisk, and I'm bringing Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Hyper Voice, and Focus Blast with the export belt. I figured that I wouldn't bring Volt Switch this time, because I do see him bring Steelix, and I do see him bringing Jolteon. I absolutely see him bringing Jolteon, and I don't want him bringing in. I don't want always having that those two immunities knocking about. So I decided, let's bring U-Turn, so I'm guaranteed the switch initiative the whole time. I know it's not as good as Volt Switch, but it's just going to be. It is what it is. We're going to run with it. We have Thunderbolt for the Manaphy and the Togekiss, which I'm delighted about. We have Hyper Voice to get nice solid stab on anything. because he's got a few Pokemon that resist the Thunderbolt. He's got the Venusaur that loves it, that that likes to eat it. He's got a couple of immunities. He's got the Como that can eat a Thunderbolt. So having the Hyper Voice, I think, is going to be very nice. And then we have the Focus Blast. Then and we have the Thunderbolt for the Mega Slowbro. That's going to be very important. And then we have the Focus Blast for the Steelix, which could be an issue. That's the kind of thinking behind that. I have the Expert Belt because I actually want to get as much damage off on the Mega Slowbro and the Volcarona as possible, but I do want to keep Heliolisk relatively healthy this week because he is going to be my answer to Manaphy most of the time. If I'm coming and get a switch initiative away on for some reason, or if I can predict the Manaphy switch, Heliolisk is going to be our switching the whole time because we have the dry skin ability to be able to block any Scalds, Surfs, Hydro Pumps, any of that kind of stuff. And it's the same for the Mega Slowbro. It's just a nice switch in that we can predict, and I can just proceed to, click Thunderbolt, U-turn, Hyper Voice, all that kind of good stuff. Set wise, we are bringing 188 timid speed to outspeed base 100s, max special attack 10, and we have the rest put into bulk. We have the odd EV spread on 60 EVs here with 145, and then we just put the rest into defense and in special defense like so. So that's kind of Heliolisk, very simple. It just answers a couple of Pokemon very, very nicely. Next up, we have Fabled our Florges with max HP, max special defense, 4 in special attack with Wish, Toxic, Protect, and Moonblast. It's I'm going to be honest. The reason why we have this set is to stop Volcarona, stop the Manaphy at +3, and stop the Gardevoir. So we can kind of come on those, and we can 1v1 the Slowbro with the Toxic. So when we're able to 1v1 so many of his offensive, with so many of his special attacking Pokemon, I felt that we have to bring the fully especially defensive set, because we live +3 Surf from the Manaphy, and I'm pretty sure we live at +3 Hydro Pump, which is very, very nice. I need to double check that though before the battle, but we have loads of investment to be able to sponge all these hits, get Wish passes off, land Toxics, and I think it's going to be a good day. We're not really equipped to deal with Venusaur, but we have other ways of dealing with Venusaur later on, as you'll see on the team. And we just can't really stay on physical attackers like the Como O. We can deal with Sneasel. Well, not really with the Ice Could Crash, but Sneasel doesn't really want to stay in and take a Moonblast from us, so that's fine. We can't really deal with Steelix, but that's only a handful of Pokemon. That's 3 I mentioned there, and we deal with so many of his Pokemon with this set, so I was very happy. And being able to get Toxics off and just get chip damage, I think it's going to be really imperative in this matchup, so I'm definitely looking forward to bringing Florges. And I think Florges, the Fabled our Florges is going to put in the work. Definitely think so. I think it's going to be very, very handy. Not my most creative set by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going to work. I'm really confident that we can just dump it in front of special attackers and just wall it. Just absolutely wall it. After that, I'm bringing my Choice Scarf Garchomp with the Jolly Nature, 12 HP, 252 attack, and 244 speed. Again, just outspeed, max speed, 100 base Pokemon like the Volcarona and the Manaphy. And we do that with the Jolly Nature, and then I just put the rest into HP, so we have that small bit of bulk. Our moveset is Stone Edge, Earthquake, Outrage, and Fire Blast. Fire Blast is purely to be able to deal with Steelix, because Steelix has got that huge special defense, which is annoying. And then we have Stone Edge for the Volcarona and the Togekiss, Earthquake for the Jolteon and the Steelix when it gets a little bit lower. And then we have Outrage just for sheer damage, absolute sheer damage, and for the Como O. I had to go Stone Edge over Rock Slide because Rock Slide wasn't a guaranteed OCO on the Volcarona. Where Outrage did more to the Volcarona than Stone Edge, or than Rock Slide, so I had to go Stone Edge then to be able to give us that extra little edge of power to be able to wreck the Volcarona. So that's the reason why we did that. And I decided to bring the Choice Scarf set in case Como O decides to Dragon Dance on us. We then have one Pokemon that's able to outspeed it and wreck it with the Outrage, and that's the reason why we're bringing the Choice Scarf. That's Garchomp, pretty much. Having a Pokemon that's going to be able to outspeed, the Jolteon and the Sneasel and be able to kill it is great. Now, granted, we can't really do that with the Sneasel. We have to be very careful with the Sneasel. But I do have a way to deal with Sneasel later on. So definitely happy with Garchomp. Can't really lock ourselves into anything until Mega Slowbro is gone, because he can just come in and sit there with Mega Slowbro all day, which is a problem, but we just gotta deal with it. Most of the time when he comes with Mega Slowbro, I'm gonna come in with Fabled. I'm gonna land a Toxic. I'm just gonna be there, smiling, waving at Mega Slowbro, saying, "Have fun with that Toxic. Just have fun." And I pretty much had my mind made up on these 4 Pokemon from the very start when I looked at his team. I just saw Zard did damage. Solar Panel deals with Manaphy and some Mega Slowbro. Fabled can kind of wall some enemy special attackers. And I wanted Choice Scarf Garchomp so to be able to outspeed +1 Como-O, +1 Volcarona, and be able to wreck them. It gets a little bit more complicated after this, because I knew I needed a couple of ways to round off my team to be able to deal with some other Pokemon. And one such Pokemon was actually Venusaur. Didn't really have much of a way of dealing with Venusaur, and I didn't really have another reliable way of dealing with Togekiss, which I was near enough certain Togekiss was going to come as well. So I decided to bring Jirachi, our Starman, because I figured, this would be the couple of Pokemon that I didn't mention there that's going to be a problem. Jirachi can deal with, and Jirachi can kind of come in against the Manaphy and definitely put in the work against the Manaphy quite well. So I was very happy about that. And we kind of deal with we can actually 1v1 Gardevoir as well. So there was a couple of nice Pokemon there in addition to the Pokemon like say Venusaur and Togekiss that we can actually deal with very nicely now. So I decided to bring Jirachi. A split defensive set this week. So we'll bring 116 Careful Nature with 252 HP, and I put the rest into physical defense because we didn't have a physical wall at this point, and I was a little bit worried about that. So I figured we'll bring we put a little bit more physical defense in here so we can actually live a hit or two. Particularly if the Como doesn't have Earthquake, but I'm sure it will. Set wise, I am bringing Thunder Wave, Stealth Rock, Zen Headbutt, Iron Head. That is it. Thunder Wave because I can get free Thunder Waves off when I come in on a few of his Pokemon, like the Manaphy. Like, he's not going to 1v1 me. I can Thunder Wave it and then have my way with the Manaphy after that. Manaphy becomes useless once it's Thunder Wave, so I'm delighted about that. I can Thunder Wave the Togekiss when we're in there, Gardevoir, a couple of different things, the Venusaur. Like, they're all either going to have to switch out or they're going to stay in, and we can Thunder Wave them, and that would be ideal for me. I bring my Stealth Rocks because he's got Volcarona and Togekiss and Sneasel, which are very weak to Stealth Rocks, and he's got a couple of Spinners, but I really want the Stealth Rocks this week to kind of be able to put a good bit of pressure on those kind of Pokemon. So I figured let's bring the rocks, let's put the pressure on them. And then I'm bringing Zen Headbutt for the Venusaur, Iron Head for the Togekiss, and Zen Headbutt actually deals damage to a lot of his other Pokemon as well. So like whatever Iron Head doesn't that isn't effective against Zen Zen Headbutt can kind of come in and cover for that. So I figured that was actually really helpful too. So we'll bring Jirachi. Jirachi's coming this week, Starman, and hopefully he can be the star of the show and put in a nice bit of work for us. Getting Thunder Waves off, getting Stealth Rocks up, and just landing a few flinches would be ideal. Now my last Pokemon was tough to decide. I didn't really know what to bring. Okay, I knew I needed someone to deal with Sneasel. I knew I needed someone to kind of deal with Como-O because we didn't really have much of a switch into Como-O, and neither would Sneasel. And I was going back and forth. I was thinking Drapion, but I didn't really like Drapion because Drapion's defense just wasn't high enough to deal with +1. If it was a D-Dance Como, it's not high enough to deal with D-Dance Como. Now, on the off chance he's like a special offensive variant, then we're fine. But I didn't have a way to deal with physical variant. So I was thinking Drapion, and he gave me, because Drapion gave me Toxic Spikes as well, but I wasn't feeling it. Really wasn't feeling it. And at the end of it all, I decided that Barbarian, or Girder, and I'm hoping that I spelled Barbarian right now, but I decided that Barbarian was our best option. And I figured that was our best option because with this set, we actually are able to sponge a lot of hits from the Como-O. So if the Como-O comes in and goes for, and we come in on it, say a D-Dance, we can bulk up, we could take another, and we could, we could bulk up, take the outrage, go for a drain punch, and we can get our health back, and we're good. With this set anyways, because I put the extra EVs here in the physical offense so that we can take a +1 outrage to the face, a jolly nature that is. So we can take a +1 outrage to the face, and then be able to once we on that turn that we take the outrage, we can bulk up and we can get and we can drain punch then on the second turn and not fear being dead unless it's a crit or he's adamant nature, and we can get our health back. So I was definitely that's the reason why we have the 60 physical offense there. So I was definitely happy with that, because that was a huge way for us to be able to kind of deal with the combo. Oh, and then of course we deal with Sneasel so well, so well. Just Sneasel doesn't touch us. The only problem is Sneasel does get knocked off, so I want to be really careful about Sneasel before we actually go off and, you know, use it before we stay in and actually 1v1 it. I want to be really careful about that. But this is my kind of answer for the Como and the Sneasel, just some way of getting damage off. I must bring Knock Off and Thunder Punch. I'm in two minds about Mach Punch. Because on one hand, Mach Punch stops Sneasel from knocking me off if we get a clean switch into it. On the other though, like a lot of times I'm going to have to come in onto the Sneasel, and that's not going to be fun. It's not like it's just not going to be fun. So I'm definitely in two minds about if I should bring Mach Punch or not. Really in two minds about do I need it? Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch for the Togekiss and the Manaphy. You know, so I'm actually going to I'm going to leave Thunder Punch behind, and I'm going to bring the Mach Punch, because I think Mach Punch is invaluable. I think Mach Punch is more valuable this time around, and we have knock off them when we force switches like that. So like when we're up against the when Sneasel's in, we can actually just knock things off, and same with the Como, we can knock it off, or whenever we go for a switch we can knock it off, and we can pick things off I think with the Mach Punch too a lot better. I'm bringing the Guts and the Evolites, so the Evolites give me the extra bulk to be able to deal with the Como, and I'm bringing Guts so that we can come in on Skulls from Manaphy and Mega Slowbro, and if we get burnt, that's, look, it is what it is. We have more power in our fists, so hopefully we can get a bit of power off then. And that is our team. Barbarian's going to be making his debut for us this week, and hopefully we can get bounce back from our previous week's disappointments and pick up the all-important W. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here today, you guys. If you guys got any comments on today's video, let me know in the comment section down below, including what you would have done this week with the team that we have and the team we're up against, what you liked, what you didn't like about the team. If you liked today's video, please click the like button down below for me. And last but not least, if you want to see more TDL action coming your way on this channel, or more content in general, please smash that subscribe button down below for me. On that note, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.